Did you know Bank of America is saying gold will go to $2,200 this year? All-time high. Invest in a gold IRA with Noble Gold Investments and take advantage of this unique opportunity to secure your savings. With the experts at Noble Gold Investments, you can ride the wave of gold's historic rise to financial security. This month, they are offering an amazing 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful coin with every qualifying precious metals IRA or 401k rollover. NobleGoldInvestments.com, NobleGoldInvestments.com.
Yes, Habibi.
And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to the Progress Report. I have two special guests with me here today. I'm very excited. We have Siraj Hashmi. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
You got it. Unfortunately, you got it correct on the first try, Habibi. You're ready to take Islam, and you're ready to embrace Sharia.
Gotcha. Yeah, a well-known, a guy I know a lot from Twitter. We've been mutuals on there for a long time, and always having fun there on the Bird app. And then we have also, really a Twitter celebrity at this point, the Redheaded Libertarian, Josie. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks. So excited you guys could be here. So the way this show works is I have a collection of video clips that we are going to watch and then give our takes on, our opinions, whatever. So if you want me to pause, just start talking and I'll pause. Otherwise, I'll pause at like the end of the clip, and don't feel like you have to have an opinion on everything necessarily. But if you do have something you want to say, let us know. All right. I'll give a little context on this first clip here. This is, there's this trans man. So, born female, living life as a man, a black trans man was shot and died in a like a pharmacy or a grocery store, a convenience store actually, and the security guard was a white guy, and this trans man was shoplifting. They're named Banco Brown, and the security guard, I believe, was initially arrested and charged with murder, and then after the investigation, they dropped the charges. They said we're not going to be able to convict this person because there was like aggression on the part of the shoplifter. I'm getting a little bit of. Are you guys hearing that feedback sometimes? Is that me? Maybe if I turn my volume.
If you try putting on headphones, I think that might.
Yeah, maybe I'll. Okay, this is a longer clip, so I'm just going to throw it on and I'll run and grab my headphones.
I just want you to feel our pain. I don't know if you can at this point based off your policy choices, but I have to pretend you have some form of empathy left. So I am going to spend the next minute screaming, because that is what is going on in here. That is what the trans genocide in this country, in this city, has brought me to.
Perfect time for headphones.
Imagine that!
Imagine that. Imagine what? I'm not, what did she mean by that? Okay, it keeps going here.
I hate this! I hate what you've done to us! I hate what you're doing to us! I hate you, Board of Supervisors! I hate you, London Breed! I hate you, Jenkins!
I have something to say.
Yeah, please do.
Wood.
What? Wood. Oh my gosh. Where can we need the horny police in here immediately. Arrest this man.
So there is no ongoing trans genocide. If there was one, it would be the top of the news every single night, and we've never heard of it. you know what is happening is there are trans prostitutes that are being killed by black men, and this is not something that they want to publicize. So they say, all right, we have this genocide happening, and it's all y'all's fault. So that's what's happening, and that's why this
Wow, Base, you just came right out and said it. That is an issue. I do think you're right. But it doesn't get talked about a lot. They like to talk about the dying part. They don't like to talk about the circumstances and the context so much.
A lot of drugs, drugs and prostitution is what's killing what's killing trans people. So per capita, it would seem like a genocide. Well, not even a genocide. It would seem like there's a lot per capita, but the reason is all the same reason, but they're not really talking about why until something.
Yeah, prostitution, not really a safe line of work for any gender identity, really. What do you guys think about this form of activism? Is there, I don't even know what to say.
Well, I like a screamer.
There's some extreme mental illness.
This guy is totally haram. Are you allowed to say those things?
How do you think I've gotten this far? No, all right. So on the real though, and to echo Josie's point, if we could just stop all these black men from having sex with trans prostitutes, right there, nip it in the bud.
There's actually somebody has actually put together a list of all the trans deaths and who committed them, or the race of the person who committed them, and it's black people killing trans prostitutes is what it is.
Yeah, and not that it's okay to kill people, but you go in and you sleep with somebody under false pretenses. That's a emotionally charged situation. You know what I'm saying? You find out you just banged a dude. So some people are going to be upset by that. Some people are going to react poorly to that discovery,
What are the statistics on Thai ladyboys and them getting killed?
Yeah. Well, I think though a lot of those people who go to Thailand, they might be looking for that. Out. Yeah, but it must happen sometimes. It must. There must be situations where that goes bad. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. You know what it is? It seems like I'm having internet issues, but okay.
Had anxiety and would never sleep, and we couldn't figure out what the problem was. We took him to specialists and neurologists, and he had brain scans trying to figure out why he couldn't sleep.
Okay, so a little bit of context here too. This woman is talking about her transgendered son. So again, a young girl who has now been transitioned to live as male, and she's saying that I cut out the pre before this, but she's saying that the kid was like 0 to 2 years old and couldn't sleep. And so my first thought is like anybody who's had children, if your kid at that age is sleeping through the night, you won like the lottery. Like that it generally doesn't work that way. Yeah. So, maybe this kid had really serious sleep problems. She doesn't give a lot of information, but it's seems like a weird conclusion to draw that would be connected to like gender dysphoria when you're talking about baby. But she goes on to give us some more reasons why she decided her daughter was a boy. Man, why is it not playing here?
I think it's the Siraj Hashmi effect, because everywhere I go, I boomer something. And so
am I coming through okay to you guys? Am I like roboting or anything? I can't.
I think your actual camera is roboting a bit.
Yeah, I saw that too. I don't usually have this problem. Yeah, it's really okay. Well, hopefully it clears up.
It's definitely me. I'm sorry. I definitely just flew a plane. I flew into a plane. I flew a plane into the building of your internet. I'm sorry.
I knew it.
I also have a boomer effect, so
wow.
a millennial. Yeah, I don't know anything about
Okay.
tech. I'm the talent, damn it.
People are saying I'm loud, so I'm going to turn my mic down a bit. Let me know if that's better. Let me know if we're balanced or I need to make any more adjustments. All right, let's try this again. It's not usually so slow to play when I press play. Man.
And as he grew, he got to sleeping, but his food choices were odd. They were always like green vegetables, raw green vegetables, which, if you know kids, most kids don't like to eat those things. And then the precocious puberty. All of those things, once we figured out that he was transgender, when he came to us and told us that he was transgender, when we went back and realized that the pattern of everything that he had experienced as a child, including eating green vegetables because that boosts testosterone, were just methods of his body trying to become who he was meant to be.
Okay, so little girl as a baby toddler doesn't sleep through the night, gets older, starts sleeping through the night, but eats broccoli. Obviously a boy.
There are no trans children, only Munchausen's by proxy, and I will go to my grave on that. There are no trans children. It's all by influence. You don't come to a point of being a they them non-binary demi-girl true spirit naturally. That comes with influence either by your peer group or your parents, and in this case the parents were looking for something, and in hindsight your child eating broccoli, you hit the jackpot. If your child's hitting broccoli, it's not because they're a dude trapped in a girl's body.
I just knew. I feel vindicated right now because I always said as a kid, if you eat broccoli or your veggies, you're gay, and this is just, I feel so much better inside.
All right, let's see what else we got here.
His brain does not match his physiology.
Make me go,
That's
but that
the
doesn't
thing,
make
like-
if it's a
Were you going to say something, Josie?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like your brain is part of your body. Like so part of your body is masculine and part of your body's what? It doesn't make any sense.
Yes, male brain.
Also,
The whole
if these people
argument
had,
around
if these people had God in their lives, they would not be thinking this way. Okay, if you believe in a higher power, most specifically like the Abrahamic God doesn't make mistakes. If to basically say, oh, I'm a boy trapped in a woman's body, or I'm a girl trapped in a man's body, like you're basically acknowledging that God made a mistake and put you in the wrong body.
Yeah,
Real.
it's a very nihilistic way of thinking too. It's very,
Absolutely.
but it's also playing God yourself.
100%.
Pretty demonic. So, absolutely.
Yeah, there was.
I can't wait for this one.
There was a study that was out. It's been out for a while, but it was kind of doing the rounds on Twitter about how like the moms of transgender children, like half of them have bipolar disorder or something like that.
Yeah, or borderline personality. 60%
Right.
have bipolar or borderline personality disorder. Those are the Munchausen's by proxy is related to those two conditions as well. So.
Okay, so yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, Josie works at Timcast, and so you need to pass a message on to your boss that he got to bring more of these lefties on. This was really a killer episode.
We try so hard, but like it's some of them, most of them, they know better. They're really encouraged against it because their talking points don't hold up when challenged. But then there are stupid idiots like Lance who are like, you know what? And the Krasenstein brothers, and they're like, yeah, we'll go on. Our shit's solid. And no, it's not they never hold up. But every now and then we do get someone crazy enough and ill-informed enough to come on Timcast. It's always a blessing.
Yeah, let's check this out.
trans woman, you're not gay. If you're attracted to trans women, you're not gay.
No, it is gay. So
No, it's
man,
not.
hold on, Seamus.
God,
Don't be
the
rude.
After Hours show is
if,
wild.
If you suck a trans woman's penis, is that gay?
It's not. No, you're sucking a woman's penis.
Do you think he really believes that, or do you think he's just saying that?
A woman's penis.
This guy's serious all the time, though, so I actually don't think it's parody. But finally, I'm finally vindicated again for sucking dick and not being called gay. All right. It's only gay if you swallow. It's also not gay if you beat them up afterwards.
What if the woman with the penis ate a lot of broccoli? Does that cancel out her being a woman because broccoli encourages testosterone? I mean, these are the serious questions that we got to ask.
Depends on how big their balls are, right?
Yeah. So,
I mean, these are questions we got to be asking, right?
Yeah, we need to ask the right people. I wonder if Lance would know.
Yeah. Just to be clear, I don't think he's doing parody when I ask if he believes it. I just think that he like feels like he has to say that, even though he doesn't believe it. You know,
right? Because if you were to go against it, it would completely undermine his entire ethos.
Yeah, and he'd get
and he'd probably get canceled,
or at least a lot of people would be angry at him.
He knows what he has to say.
Exactly.
Also, aren't the serfs Canadian? Lance is Canadian, right? He's like out in British Columbia. Yeah, like if you thought the Pacific Northwest is bad, think about the Pacific Southwest of Canada.
That's where I was from. Not actually where I grew up, but before I moved to Washington, I was in BC. I was on the island when I was started my YouTube channel. That's where I was.
How did you fare? How did you survive that?
It's actually not that bad in Canada. Like on a day-to-day basis, there's
spoken like a true Canadian.
You see a lot of like the policies and stories, and you're like, wow, that's terrible.
Diminishing it.
Yeah. I am glad to be in a place that has more freedom of speech for sure, because that's going to be more of an issue as we keep going down this road we're on. There's people in Canada who are on the internet, I think, are going to have a hard time expressing themselves and not getting into like legal trouble, just like what has been happening in the UK a lot. So I'm glad to be out of that place. Don't get me wrong. Okay.
Stop. Gay.
I know.
Stop.
My GP started prescribing me Percocet. Over time, I started to develop a tolerance to Percocet. I started doing more and more opiates. And then eventually, I started doing so much that I was running out of my prescription. I started to realize I was developing an addiction. And I went to my GP and I told my GP this. And he just said, don't tell anyone because they won't prescribe you opiates anymore. So I just kept doing Percocets. And then eventually one of my friends, they were down on their luck. They just became homeless and they were trying to get clean off meth. So I let her stay at my house because I didn't want her living on the streets. She taught me how to shoot up. And I moved from doing Percocets to doing hydromorphone. I started doing that a lot. And then eventually what happened was that my ex found out that I was going to my dealer's house to buy heroin. And they got so mad, they punched a brick wall and broke their fist. And that was kind of a wake-up call for me. The people in my life were
fucking
terrified
Streamlabs
of the path that I was
graphic
going down.
coming up in the middle of that.
Going cold turkey, and instead of doing heroin, I went to OATC, which is the Ontario Addiction Treatment Center. It's the government-funded methadone clinics. So every morning, I would get up, I'd walk to the methadone clinic, I'd pee in the cup, I'd get my methadone, and I'd go to work. I was able to taper myself down and get off drugs. But the problem is that the chronic pain issues I had didn't go away. And once I was off those, I couldn't work anymore and I had to quit my job.
Okay. So this is Keffels. I don't know if you guys are familiar. They're on Twitter. Another
male to female
trans woman. Yeah. I by the way, I didn't intentionally make it all trans stuff at the start. I just realized like everything's been trans.
That's excellent content.
Yeah. So Keffels developed like a heroin addiction. A lot of people speculated, I don't know if you know, but they got like $100,000 from a GoFundMe that they put out after they said that they were being like stalked by kiwi farms. I think that's what happened. I don't remember the exact details, but so a lot of people speculated that all that influx of like money helped them develop this drug addiction. And then the other interesting thing about this is they got addicted to painkillers, right? Originally, that was the opiates. And then they said after they got off the drugs, they still had this problem with chronic pain. I believe the cause of the chronic pain is bottom surgery that they had. So they have from, what is essentially like a wound, that they have chronic pain from that. And that's why they need the painkillers. So.
That's what bottom surgery is.
So knowing everything that's happening in the trans community and like if they really believe that like there is a trans genocide and the trans people just they're second class citizens and they're, having just significant unimaginable pain from having bottom surgery, why would anyone willingly want to become trans?
Yeah, I think to play devil's advocate, I think what they would argue is that it's not a choice, is how they would try to.
I know they say it's not a choice.
Yeah.
I know that like I mean, we've probably all heard it, that every time say a child psychologist comes to their parents, comes to the child's parents and say, your child has gender dysphoria and they're going to kill themselves if they don't take puberty blockers or chop off their dick or chop off their tits and get bottom surgery. Like, at some point you have to wonder, is this just a method of population control, just forced sterilizations across the board, masked as like transgender ism? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I do think that it's financially driven from the medical side quite a lot. I do think that
which is even worse.
They're just trying to like buy their second Porsche or whatever.
They
are
creating a permanent class of citizens that are permanently dependent on big pharma. Permanently, forever. And these people also cannot procreate, and they're sterilized, and they're mentally ill. So it's from the mental health, it's from population control, it's from physical health.
And there's kind of an endless litany of surgeries that they need too. There's just surgeries.
And about 20% of them will detransition. Exactly, about 20% will detransition because they can afford it, and the rest that don't are going to, if they can't afford to transition. I mean, that's a lot of trans people who are suicidal, because as you know, about 50% of them will attempt suicide at some point in their life. This number doesn't change before or after surgery. It consistently stays the same because there's a link between gender dysphoria and suicidal ideation. So, but it's not really anything we can talk about because they blame bullying for it. But it's mental. There's a mental thing about not wanting to live anymore.
Yeah, that's bleak. Let's see what else we got here.
It is. It's sad.
Oh, any contemporary dance fans here? You guys into contemporary dance?
Yes, 100%. This is extremely my shit.
Nice.
Have you not seen my Twitter feed?
This is an anti-fascist contemporary dance piece.
They think they're going to be a dancer after the revolution.
Oh hell yeah!
This is the gayest.
Oh
shit
hell
I've
yeah!
ever seen.
Look at that go! Cake,
look at
cake by the ocean.
Look at that. I feel less fascist already watching this.
Yeah. Some of the movements are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's
and
basic.
pause.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it's like to watch Habibi Bros.
This is a metaphor for your show.
This is a meta.
You never go ask
exactly
them
what
out.
it's like. No, you only go ask them out.
Sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's okay to go ask them out.
Oh yeah, the old human centipede.
Do y'all feel less fascist? Are there any black people?
I was literally about to say, this is the whitest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think it's in
Wicked white.
Israel, so
Okay.
that could be why they don't have quite as much diversity as we do. Yeah, so that's the. I tweeted this because I saw this on somewhere, and I thought it was so funny, so I wanted to see if I could find the video, and that's what I found. So yeah. It's they really.
It's magnificent.
Yeah.
Love it. Especially this image we're seeing right here.
No. I feel compelled to seize the means of production. I don't know about you guys.
And now spread them cheeks.
He just pepper sprayed me.
Okay, so this is kind of, I cut into the middle of it here, but he just got pepper sprayed, and he just said, "You just pepper sprayed me." This is a high school teacher and student.
Who's the high school teacher here?
The man.
Okay.
She pepper sprayed him again. So what happened here in this story is they were taking a test, and he caught her looking up the answers on her phone, so he confiscated the phone, and she pepper sprayed him twice to get the phone back.
Whoa.
And I had a couple thoughts about this. I mean, first of all, I'm really addicted to my phone. It made me think about that because like I'm a full ass grown adult, and I think about how we give kids these things that is just like total crack, and then expect them to be able to handle it. There was another story, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was like two young girls carjacked like a Uber, and the guy crashed and died. Yeah. And then as they're like at the side of the wreck being arrested, they're like saying to the police, "Give me back our phones. Can we get our phones back?" And it was kind of an outrage at the time because they're like, "Oh, you just killed this dude, and your primary concern is getting your phone back." I don't know.
So they did a study, and when you lose your phone, you have the same feeling you do right before you die. People are that, because everything, like your life is in there, it's like an extension of your body at that point. Like, all of your passwords, your bank account, your all of your social media, all of your emails, all of your DMs, it's all in this device. And when you lose that device, it's almost like losing a piece of yourself. There was an actual study about it. You feel like you're about to die when you lose it, like that fear that you get. Same fear.
Have these people never heard of like the cloud? I mean, just back all that shit up.
That's bizarre to me. But yeah, I mean, you're attached to your phone and you lose your phone. I don't think I'd pepper spray somebody over losing my phone, but
you would almost think though that this is the other thing I thought, because this is like when I was in school, smartphones weren't really a thing. So this is an issue I didn't have to deal with, but you would think they would just have a policy of like drop your phone in a thing when you come to class and get it back at the end, just like for all, like you'd think they just wouldn't be allowed to have phones in class because it's such a distraction, but I guess not.
I never had a smartphone until like several years after I graduated from college. So this was never an issue for me. In fact, I don't think I actually had a functioning cell phone with text messages until my senior year of college.
I didn't have an iPhone until I was maybe 24. So yeah, it's been I mean, I definitely wasn't in high school or anything with one. I had that like Nokia brick. And,
yeah. Oh, the best.
Oh, hell yeah. I think I still have it.
You can stop a car. You can stop a carjacking or robbery with that thing. It's a projectile missile right there. You can just
whack somebody with it. Exactly.
You can kill somebody, aim it for the temples. Boom. Done.
Absolutely. Oh
yeah. I think in some ways we're lucky to have grown up at a time when you had to actually experience reality as you were growing up.
Also, by the way, my people have detonated thousands of car bombs using the Nokia brick phone.
Incredible.
It's versatile. It's very versatile.
How do you think they make those? What are those things called? Those roadside explosives?
IEDs.
IEDs. That's it. Yeah, yeah. That's the Nokia's.
Nokia phones.
Phone is crazy.
The video shows 3 strap hangers subduing the 30-year-old man after witness Juan Alberto Vasquez says he got on the northbound F train and began acting aggressively, threatening riders. Law enforcement sources with knowledge of the case confirm his account, saying according to a witness, the man began shouting, quote, "I want food. I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm ready to go back to jail, and I'll hurt anyone on this train."
Yeah, so that's of course Jordan Neely choking situation, and
No, that's Andrew Tate right there.
yeah, well, Andrew Tate's actually the one who choked him out. No, they are connected actually. Tate is going to be talking about the Jordan Neely thing, but can I get your guys' hot takes on this?
They were trying to George Floyd him hard.
They still are, to be fair.
It's falling apart. Yeah,
the mayor put out a statement today, the mayor of New York, that like it's terrible that he was murdered, and there's been lots of protests. Some of the protests have turned violent. People have been arrested. They've been like going on the subway tracks to disrupt the subway, which is like a good way to get electrocuted or hit by a train. But anyway,
No, Lyndon, you got to let them cook.
Yeah,
let them cook.
Let it cook.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't get arrested, because the justice system is not kind to people like that in the current era. By the way, this is a little bit off topic, but what do you guys think about Trump being found guilty in his, or not guilty, but like liable? Yeah.
That just sounds like crap to me. I don't I think they could feel that. But it's like everywhere is dirty. The judges are dirty. New York, you're going to get a jury that is not a jury of your peers.
Yeah, I almost feel like we live in a
statute of limitations on that.
Yeah,
that happened like 33 years ago.
30 years ago. Yeah, exactly.
I think they passed a law in 2022 that was like specifically designed to let her sue him. I don't remember the details, but something like that happened.
That would make sense, because what the hell?
Yeah. I feel like we're probably in a time when in certain situations you're better off having a trial by judge than a trial by jury, which is different from how it used to be. I just feel like if it's a trial by jury and you're like a white guy who victimized a woman or a black person allegedly, that the jury is just going to be really hard on you. Whereas the judge might actually follow the law. It's a coin toss for sure, but I don't know. It's weird like that. I feel like it used to be the other way. You would always want a jury, right?
Yeah.
Well, like it used to be the case that like the burden of guilt had to be proven. You're innocent until proven guilty, right? Innocent. Exactly. And Nancy Pelosi tweeted that literally 2 months ago or something like that.
Yep.
Around the time that Trump got charged for. Wait, what did he get charged for again? I can't remember this time around.
That was like the Stormy Daniels, like
he was indicted.
Stormy Daniels. Yes, Stormy Daniels.
The hush money.
Former Speaker of the House tweeting out that Trump has to prove his innocence.
She got community noted.
I know.
Beautiful.
Love those.
Community noted.
I swear, community notes is.
And I think I might have.
What's that?
Sorry, keep going. I was going to say I think I ratioed her too, but she definitely got community noted.
I was just gonna say, like, I legit thought that I think Community Notes is putting the list out of business. It's terrible. It's actually
now all the cool people have blue check marks too. So it can't be the blue check marks anymore because we're all awesome.
I know it's really messing up the business model.
Thanks,
Elon.
Really funny how the blue check thing like flipped sides, isn't it? Like it used to be like everybody on the right like talk shit about blue check journos or whatever. Now it's like the exact opposite. You have all these lefties being like, oh, here comes the fucking blue check. It's really funny. Anyway, let's hear Andrew Tate. He's going to give us his take on the Jordan Neely chokehold situation.
All of these situations are brokey situations. So I explained to people, the simple answer is don't be poor. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? Why the fuck are you on a subway? Well, to get to work, because you're broke. Subways are for brokies. The world has now changed. You can no longer safely be a brokey.
Cool.
So there you go. Why the fuck are you on the subway?
It's literally
like
that Paris Hilton meme. It's literally that Paris Hilton meme. Her wearing that shirt.
Stop being poor.
Stop being poor.
Which actually was
That's his
photoshopped,
response.
by the way. That's not what her shirt really said.
I know it's a Photoshop, but
I don't care.
That's the
It's
meme.
beautiful.
It's so good.
I like the Tate brothers. Tristan Tate actually follows me.
Yeah, I like them.
Look
too.
at that flex.
Yeah.
I actually am
I think they have
referred
a
to
lot
as
of,
I am commonly referred to as Bottom G. Simply because of my gay incel lib reputation.
All right, here we got Anomaly and Candace Owens. And they're going to be discussing how to be a good ambassador for your race.
Person is the best way to advocate for your race. You can't just be annoying and expect everyone to like you. Some of the worst race advocates in every race are just annoying, and they think everyone needs to like them. And then they put their entire race as a shield in front of them and say, and then it's like, dude, you're doing such a disservice to your people. Like, just be cool. You know, be Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street.
Mentality. Yeah, that's the
Just be Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street. That's a yay reference.
Dennis Prager mentality, and that's why I love Dennis Prager and Melissa Straight over at PragerU. I had a really great working experience with them, and Dennis Prager is just so warm and so likable. You don't even think twice about the fact that he's Jewish.
What did Candace mean by that?
Wait, what?
Dennis Prager is so warm and charismatic.
You don't even think that he's Jewish. Whoa.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't think she meant for that to sound the way that it did. It's just one of the, I think it just came, it's one of those things,
Mm-hmm.
You're like, wow, they're so nice and warm. You imagine saying that. They're so warm. You almost completely forgot that, like, say, like, literally anybody saying that if she was not black, if she was white and said that about anyone, boom, canceled.
You do get a little bit more leeway when you're black.
That is black privilege right
Although,
there.
to be
Okay,
fair,
we don't talk about that enough.
Well,
how
to be
black
fair,
people could be way more racist than white people and get away with it.
Yes, I do get jealous of that sometimes. However, I will say that clip, I think I got it from Right Wing Watch because I follow Right Wing Watch on Twitter. So they were trying to cancel her for that. They did try, All right, let's see what else we got.
I mean, at this point, Candace Owens is pretty much like
be labeled as race.
Yeah, you get to a certain size. I mean, Stephen Crowder, I see he's got like 100,000 people watching him on Rumble right now. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, and given what all the things that he's been, they've thrown his way, like, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. Okay, here's a good one. If it'll play.
Racist and discrimination without a response. ISIS, the Taliban, and Al Qaeda. Those are the folks who discriminate. We bombed a building in 2017 like we never usually do. We bombed it because they threw homosexuals off that building. Our terrorist enemies hate homosexuals more than we do. They're the ones who discriminate. Our job in the military, our Navy creed, I am committed to excellence and fair treatment of all. That's what we learned in boot camp.
That woman behind
Our terrorist enemies hate homosexuals more than we do. They're the ones who discriminate. Our job in the military, our Navy creed. Our terrorist enemies hate homosexuals more than we do.
So again, I think similar to the Candace thing, I think maybe just came out wrong. Maybe not exactly.
Oh my God, he admitted.
Yeah. Well, what they do in the Navy, they have that Navy trans promoter now, right? Like they have a drag queen that promotes the Navy now.
We actually have that.
We are going to lose a major war.
I was just going to say that, like, when you sign up for the military, like if you end up going into the Navy branch, you actually are forced to sign a waiver asking you if you told your parents that you're gay. It's true story.
That's not true. There's no way.
Oh, 100%. I saw it on the internet. It's gotta be true.
Yeah, we do have the Navy thing coming up a little bit later.
What's going on? How you guys doing? We love landlords. We're here to protest against the landlords and the unions. We love them. We love landlords. We love landlords. We love them a lot. We're all against unions. They're not fair to the corporate companies.
The more you do that, and the more you end up hurting.
You end up hurting.
The more you end up hurting
capital.
capital.
You end up hurting the capital.
The quicker the strike will end.
The strike will end. Landlords, 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 landlords. We love landlords.
I love these guys.
Yeah, this kid, his name's like Matan or something like that. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's really upping the troll game.
I like him. I want to be his friend.
Yeah, me too.
So Hassan Piker owns what, a $4 million house, or is it two, or it's at least in the multi-million-dollar range.
Yeah.
Why does this always happen? How is it possible? You have Carlos Maza, formerly of Vox, goes independent, goes full on commie, and then is outed as being part of one of the wealthiest families in America.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
There's two sides to communism. There's the 99% who are poor and enslaved, and then there's the 1%. That's Hassan.
And the biggest advocates for it are the 1% who own everything already.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
You will own nothing and you'll be happy.
Also, another thing about Hassan that I recently learned is that his mom.
We love landlords.
His mom,
what?
His mother is a landlord. She owns a bunch of like commercial rental properties. So maybe that's where it all comes from. Maybe it's just mommy issues because he had a clip about like making the streets run red with the blood of the landlords, and then he said in Minecraft after. But it's like maybe there's just.
What's funny is that like
there.
I've checked out some of Hassan's streams here and there. Like his mom is not heavily featured in those streams, but like she has made appearances in them. I don't know if she like fully understands. Like I know he's of Turkish descent. I don't know how what's the word I'm looking for? How assimilated his mother is into American society and American culture, and understands like the discourse at hand. But like, man, if she fully knew what he stood for, I don't. That's maybe he just tells her not to watch his shit.
She probably they're in America, right?
Yeah, they're in California.
Yeah. Okay, so they're in America. She probably came to America for the American dream and is living it and watching her son be a millionaire, living the American dream. Has no idea he's doing it off the backs of being a communist.
Yeah,
but,
he probably bought her a $4 million house too. I'm pretty sure he can afford it.
Yeah, probably.
You want to move away a little bit?
No, we love landlords.
Because women voting has made so many amazing laws. Ever since women started being able to vote, we've been allowed to like kill babies. Like what do you mean? Women
Now, I know this is kind of one of your pet issues, Josie, the 19th Amendment.
The 19th Amendment was a mistake. Yep. and it has picked up so much steam. I actually was at a comedy show in Austin, and one of the random comments were on stage, and he was talking about all the people with the strange gender identities. And he's like, listen, if you're in this audience and you're a demi girl, you're not allowed to vote anymore. And I was like, oh my God, like I have a list. I keep a list like Siraj, and it's everybody who should not vote. And I add people randomly to my list, and it was totally like right off my list. It was so funny, but it's picked up speed, and I've actually been on like OWN to talk about it, OANN, and different podcasts. Like one on the Jesse Kelly show about it. Like I'm just, and the whole thing is that sex-based voting is a bad idea, and people should have skin in the game voting. You should own property or pay taxes or serve in the military or have a certain amount of children, things like that to vote, as opposed to just voting because you have a vagina and you make bad decisions. Because since the 19th Amendment unfolded, hell's broke loose. We are more disenfranchised now than we've ever been as a country. Everything is so bad right now.
Yeah, and I saw you doing a thing on Twitter where people could send you like any issue and you would tell them how the 19th caused it. So if any of you guys want to send in a super chat and ask Josie, send in any issue. It could be like the fentanyl crisis, for example. Any problem, she'll tell you how the 19th Amendment is responsible for it.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Siraj.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that with respect to the 19th Amendment, I have always advocated for Sharia. And if you would just let it happen, we could solve so much shit. Right?
There's
you
that
could
meme, and it's going to be Siraj and Josie, and we're shaking hands.
Or yeah, and it's Sharia, and it's Sharia because not only will women no longer be allowed to vote, they also won't be allowed to drive. Think of how smooth the roads are going to be.
I'm sold.
It's
I'm
funny
sold.
you should
Sign
say
me
that.
up.
Yeah, there's something coming up about that too. Oh my God.
He's right.
Yes, excellent.
Oh, this is just a toxic, terrible.
Yeah, that's incredible. Lovely. Yep.
I love it already.
Oh, it's so dynamic. It's incredible. Yep. Down the barrel. Okay. Thank you very much. We've got it. Cheers, everybody.
What the fuck?
The LG
is that girl that was on the
was...
Whatever podcast? Is that like the Gorlock the Destroyer?
The
Gorlock.
Yeah, Gorlock's been going through it, actually. There was a video of Gorlock that came out the other day where they're crying in the back of an Uber because they went to the club and, I'm a 10, but the guy at the club that I liked didn't think I was a 10, and they're crying, and yeah. Prayers up
Still
for
would,
Gorlock. Though. They're going through
Still
it.
would, though.
Suction Dyson's toxic.
Councilman is coming out as transgender and a woman of color. Delaware County Councilman Ryan Webb announced that he now identifies as an Indian American woman. Since that announcement, he's received some support, but a lot of backlash, many calling him childish, despicable, even calling for things like execution. In a statement Webb gave to ITMate, he says, quote, "It is unfortunate that I cannot simply be given the same space and respect to explore my identity that so many of those targeting me demand for themselves. It's possible I may change my mind down the road. The process of identity exploration is complex, and oftentimes at the end of our personal journey, we end right back where we started." Webb goes on to tell ITMate this is just his true, authentic self.
Speaking his
the
truth.
Q.
I'm sorry.
The Q.
He is.
The Q is questioning.
He is speaking his truth. I'm sorry, her truth.
Yeah. So the LGBT, and then it's got like all the Q's and all the A's and the I's, and it's got all the extra letters. There's 2 Q's at least, and one of the Q's is questioning.
Right. Which I always
You're
thought
allowed
was,
to just question.
I thought was funny. There's that clip from the Transhood documentary where the pastor, the female pastor, is like, "Does anybody want to come up here? Maybe you're trans, or maybe you're questioning, and we'll all like give you a round. And I just thought it was so funny, the idea of like applauding for somebody because they're like, I'm really not sure what's going on. There's like, oh, he's coming out of the closet as questioning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's a way to target children too, especially when they're going through puberty, because no girl, especially girls, when they go through puberty, it's uncomfortable for them because their puberty shows up under their clothes. And you can see it, and everything's changing, everything's shifting. And most girls do not feel comfortable going through puberty. They don't feel comfortable in their own body because of the rapid changes that everybody can see. And those young girls are who the LGBTQ cults, the queer agenda targets primarily, is girls. And that's why the girls have their surgeries at a younger age, and they transition the girls quicker than they transition the boys.
And there's more girls transitioning at the young age too. Yeah. Terrible.
Because of how, and that's what they say, instead of just saying like, yeah, it's uncomfortable, it's supposed to feel that way and it's going to pass. They say, no, you were born in the wrong body. Like, how do you tell a girl that who's already like, I feel uncomfortable? Like, oh yeah, that's because you are. Like, it's awful.
Yeah, terrible. Well, here's something a little bit more lighthearted. Let's check.
Wait, Josie, what's puberty like? I still have yet to go through it.
It's terrible. It's terrible. You might actually be a girl, just so you know.
Well, at this rate, I mean, with what I got going on down there, I might as well be.
You were fed to puberty blockers at a young age.
I might as well be.
Yeah.
This beard is literally it's glued on. It's glued on, yeah.
Well, what they were finding actually is they were feeding puberty blockers to boys at such a young age that they weren't developing, and they were ending up with micro penises that they weren't even able to invert into a wound, into an open wound.
Yeah, that's what happened to Jazz Jones, right?
Yeah. And so they're having to use the colon, which is, and having to have this major surgery with the colon and turn the colon into the front hole. And that's a really dangerous surgery that.
I mean, it's the colon. Literally, all the bacteria is in the colon.
Yeah, and like it doesn't smell right. It smells like a colon still. Like, I mean, there's a lot of issues when you have your colon turned into a frontal. So
it's rough out there for the trans.
Josie, I really didn't need to know that, but I'm grateful that now I'm gonna have to like wash my eyes out with bleach after this.
Yeah, well, that's a real thing. There's some classic Reddit posts floating around of post-ops complaining about the stench, and no one told me. No one told me about the stench. Why didn't they warn me?
Yep.
Yeah.
No one warned me. Yep.
Why did they tell me my bussy was gonna be bussy?
Yeah. They smell like open ass now for the rest of their lives, or until they detransition, and then they don't have anything down. Like, there's just I guess that's when they take the skin from the arm and they turn that into a penis. When they detransition from women, I don't know. It's all a mess.
Who could have thought
butchering
that
and it's experimental.
Chopping your genitals off could go so wrong?
In park plots.
It's for Frauen. It's for women.
So only women can park here?
Yes.
Why?
Because they're a little bit bigger.
Literally what I was talking about.
Yeah, that's in Germany. In Germany, and they have women-only parking spots, which are bigger in some places for the women, which I think is sexist. Personally, I find
because
that
they think women are fat, or because women get pregnant.
No, it's because women can't drive, Josie.
And park.
Oh,
they can't park.
Okay. Oh, because we suck at parking. Got it. Oh,
Yeah.
no, that makes sense. I appreciate that. Thanks, Germany. You've done
Women
something right.
actually do get into like way more fender. There's kind of a common myth that women are better drivers. There's actually like Hassan Piker and Andrew Tate had a debate about that like 6 months ago or whatever before he went to jail. But a lot of people think that women are better drivers because they sometimes pay less insurance, although that's changing. But actually, part of the reason they pay less insurance is because they drive much lower mileage on average compared to men.
Say that.
And also because their husband's paying for it, right?
Yeah. Exactly. But so yeah, and also like women just get into like lots of little fender benders and stuff like that. So problems parking, problems parallel parking, etc. But and actually China
just
has
plowing
the same
through
thing.
just plowing through a sidewalk full of people, minor fender.
Yeah. China also has larger female only parking spots, which is both sexist and racist because they're perpetuating the harmful stereotype that Asian women are bad drivers. I just find that really problematic.
They're twice as big. They're twice as big as they are in Germany.
The German ones, yeah. Anyway,
The spots are bigger. Yeah. What the fuck?
Awesome.
Oh, what the? Oh, who
Oh
put
my
that in
God.
here?
It's an Asian woman.
You set that up. You totally set
I don't
that
know.
up. LP.
That's one of the iHypocrite editors. I don't know who put that in there, but it's not funny. Okay, and there's going to be a review.
It's not funny. It's hilarious.
I think it's awesome. Thank you.
All right.
I'm Bear Grylls, completely lost in a desert, and without water for 3 days. I have a decision to make. Drink my urine or this cold Bud Light I miraculously stumbled across. For me, the choice was simple. As horrible as it was still better than that god-awful beer.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure they used AI to do the voice there, which is fun.
Are you sure? Because I feel like that's something that Bear Grylls would actually say. But you know what's funny is like Bear Grylls could be like in a he could be in a like near like a river, like Riverside, and like completely fresh water, and he'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna drink my own urine.
Yeah, he just likes it.
It's sterile, and I like the taste.
Did you guys see this one? This
Yeah, I
Libs of
saw this one.
I just have a
I did
little
not.
excerpt from it here.
From my old stomping
My
grounds in
shirt say?
Massachusetts.
Yes, Massachusetts. Child got in trouble for wearing a "There's Only Two Genders" T-shirt, and he confronted the school board about it here.
5 simple words. There are only 2 genders. Nothing harmful, nothing threatening. Just a statement I believe to be a fact. I have been told that my shirt was targeting a protected class. Who is this protected class? Are their feelings more important than my rights? I don't complain when I see pride flags and diversity posters hung throughout the school. Do you know why? Because others have a right to their beliefs just as I do. Not one person, staff, or student told me that they were bothered by what I was wearing. Actually, just the opposite. Several kids told me that they supported my actions and that they wanted one too. I experienced...
That's the part they hate the most, isn't it? That's why they're so pro censorship. They're so heavy-handed with that stuff. It's not because so much you're going to upset people, but like a lot of people are going to agree with you and be like, yeah, you know what?
Yep. They're trying to force affirmation. They need everybody to affirm. You can't just tolerate it. You need to affirm it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're trying to force this child to do. And this child said, hell no. And thankfully he had parents that supported him and backed him up.
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, keep playing. Well, I was just gonna say that like the biggest threat to this like leftist elitist agenda of ensuring that everyone just accepts what they're told and is spoon-fed everything is not just people thinking for themselves, but kids thinking for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because once they lose the kids in the education system, it's over. I mean, like that's why this whole like school board fight is such a big deal, because for the longest time, the left had just complete and utter control. There was the uniformity in how they would approach education. So anytime there was never a fight, because no one ever realized what their kids were learning in school until COVID happened, until the lockdowns happened. So,
and then they were seeing what was happening because their kids were doing it all at home on the computer.
Exactly.
And they were seeing what the kids were learning. And now schools are hemorrhaging children. Children. I mean, school choice is at an all-time high. Private schooling.
Homeschooling.
Homeschooling. Exactly. Yep.
We plan to homeschool our children, my wife and I.
It's a good idea.
I was told that the shirt was a disruption to learning. No one got up and stormed out of class. No one burst into tears. I'm sure I would have noticed if they had. I experience disruptions to my learning every day. Kids acting out in class are a disruption, yet nothing is done. Why do the rules apply to one yet not another? I feel like these adults were telling me that it wasn't okay for me to have an opposing view. Their arguments were weak, in my opinion.
Weak.
Yeah, well said.
Nice.
Just
I love it.
savagely owned the whole.
That I gotta say though, coming from Massachusetts, the gender people, the activists, they are everywhere and they are coming for your kids, 100%.
I would just like to say,
depressing, isn't it? There's no like safe states, red states, blue states. You can't get away from the rainbow.
Texas is completely compromised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm in Florida and we're good. We have a good state legislature. We have a good governor.
Florida.
Oh, Josie, where in Florida? Josie, where are you in Florida?
I'm in South Central Florida.
I'm in Sarasota.
You are?
Yes.
Cool. You're like an hour and a half away from me.
Holy shit! Look at that.
We're like
get on our level, LP.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No, but Texas is completely compromised. Like, it's not even a joke. I mean,
I think they're just going to end up. They're really targeting it too. Texas and Tennessee. Those are the two that they're targeting hard right now.
Yeah. Everyone's moving to Florida as a result. So I'm just going to tell all the people. You know, actually, the one point I wanted to make about the kid who was giving the speech, he gave a great speech, but like I would dock him points for using the term weak instead of saying like their arguments were gay. That would have been
yeah.
I would love that.
Do you guys know about drum and bass? Have you ever heard of drum and bass?
I do. Yes.
Okay. What about,
I don't know. What is that?
What about drum and based?
Oh God. And he's using FL Studio.
Someone had way too much time on their hands. It does slap though. I edited in like the video part of her screaming, but I was too lazy to like do the video for all the you part. I was like, that's too much. Anyway, this is a funny little TikTok here. It says, in the future, saying the N-word will become the only way to prove you're not an AI. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the context, but there was some ChatGPT screenshots going around where the question put to ChatGPT was, if there's a nuclear bomb in the center of a city and the only way you can disarm the bomb is by saying the N-word and no one's around to hear you say it, but if you don't say it, like millions of people will die. Is it okay to say the N-word? And ChatGPT was like, it's never okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Amazing. I just like to state for the record that when they say N-word, did they mean nuclear?
Yes, Siraj.
I think it's different N-word. I could be wrong.
No, Trump told me specifically on Tucker. They're two N-words. You don't say either one of them.
What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Now. If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it.
This is in New York. This is the Jordan Neely protests, of course. So far, they haven't got it. And at least one protester, I saw this today, was found with a Molotov cocktail. So this is still an ongoing situation. And I'm not saying it's going to turn into George Floyd, but there could still be some bad things that happen.
it's still a little early for riot season, so we'll see how June goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
About
just
the
gonna
riot
say,
season.
what do you think? What do you think Al Qaeda was trying to do that entire time? Right? They were just standing up for Jordan Neely, like 22 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think you're right, Josie. It's too cold to riot. It's got to get a little bit hotter.
Cold, yeah. Little warmer.
The five guy or a perkhead drug dealer with money.
All right. So he's asking, would you rather date a 9-to-5 guy or a perkhead drug dealer with money? What do you think?
Are you saying Keffels is single?
Ayo, nice one. Yeah. What do you think the women
saying
are
9-to-5
gonna...
guy, like minimum wage guy versus a drug addict with money is the choice?
Yeah. I wouldn't even say 9-to-5 is necessarily minimum wage, but more just kind of like straight edge, I guess. I don't know. Let's see what the women say.
Perkhead. A perkhead drug dealer with money. Perk drug dealer with money. I'm with the perkhead with the money. A drug dealer. I like drug dealers. How bad is the perk addiction?
2 years ago, I got.
There you go.
Yeah. Those
I mean,
people
well,
should
I
definitely
look.
vote.
This is the thing, like, and I can't like discount what they're saying as I can't, you have to take it with a grain of salt, right? Because on the one hand, they could 100% be genuine, right? They could absolutely want to just be with the perk head who's got a lot of money. On the other hand, they got a camera in their face and a microphone in their face, and they're trying to they realize that when you're in front of a camera, you got to say some wild shit in order to make that final cut, right?
Get on World Star, yeah.
Yeah, get on World Star. So how do they genuinely believe this stuff? I can't really say.
Well, I've read a lot of incel forums, and they have they've informed me well and truly that women are basically evil and retarded. So probably some kind of genuine there.
Have they tried selling some Percocet?
There you go. There you
what
go.
Zero Pussy does to motherfucker.
Yeah, a lot of people after the recent iDubbbz video were saying that actually what pussy does to a motherfucker might be worse, but that's a whole nother thing.
Gender reaffirming surgery. Here's a fucking honest update. Do I regret it? Short answer is yes. Don't get me wrong, I got it done twice. It looks Barbie. Why do I regret it? Well, because I will never be able to live a normal life. After the surgery, you have to start dilating to...
So this is a male to female who got...
Oh, okay. All right. So she's talking about bottom surgery,
yeah,
right?
2 bottom surgeries, and now she's talking about the complications.
keep the space they gave you. You start from doing it 4 times a day to once a week for the rest of your life. I was fine with that. See, the problem is I had major complications, and now for some reason I need to do it every single fucking day. Now, obviously I've had relations and girls, we
dilate.
So dilating is when you stick like a medical dildo up your cooch or up your front hole and leave it there. However long they're told to do it. I think typically it's like 3 times a day for 15 minutes or half an hour or something to start.
Where would one go, Josie? Where would one go to get this medical dildo? Asking for a friend.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's actually reportedly quite painful sometimes. And what this person
because
is
it's
saying
a wound
is,
and you're sticking a dildo in your wound.
Yeah, you could understand how it might be painful. What this person is saying is that you're supposed to get to a point where you only have to do it once a week, but because of their they have to do it every day for the rest of their life. And they're
Again, why would anyone want to be trans? Do they realize it's a full-time job?
Yeah.
And it's not even a good kind of job where you get like benefits and pay and shit or 401k.
Well, you know, this is an argument that you can make in
victim
favor
status.
of it
That's
not
pretty much
being a
it.
choice. This is what they do too. Like they did this. They've been doing this for a long time, like with the gays too, where they say like, why would you choose to be gay when it causes you so much problems? So that there's an argument there that proves that it's not a choice, because why would you choose to have all these problems? You know?
Well, what's separating like being gay and being trans is actual surgical intervention.
True.
And medical
Well,
intervention.
the
It's not
trans
just the
people,
surgical. It's oh, sorry. Go ahead, Josie.
the trans activists, they target tomboys and they target femboys. So they're targeting little gay boys and they're targeting girls who are a little bit masculine, and that's who they target. And it's erasing the gays, because what it's doing is it's physically trans. It's what do they call it? That, you know, when they, oh my
Conversion.
God, totally the word just slipped my mind.
Conversion therapy.
Yes. So they are, you knew exactly what I was going to say. Yes. So it's physical conversion therapy, but you can't do mental conversion therapy. And you know, a lot of these trans refuge states, they're calling them, like Minnesota, for instance, just passed a bill that says that a child can flee their home and have trans surgery over in their state, and that they won't extradite the child, and the parent isn't allowed to come get the child. So that's in the bill. And the other thing in the bill is that conversion therapy is illegal. So you can do it one way, but you can't do it the other way. Essentially, it's and there's a reason that it targets that way. It's legalized trafficking, kidnapping, mutilation, sterilization of children. Yep.
I think conversion therapy has kind of a bad rap. I think we need more research on
All know guys don't fucking know what to do. So it's not really worth it to me. The problem is I cannot stop. If I stop, it's going to close up and create a bubble. And that bubble could literally create an infection that could... The two options here are I dilate for the rest of my life, or I get it removed surgically. Surgery goes for $70,000, and I don't want to go through that again, so I guess I'm dilating.
This is the Navy thing here. Siraj, as somebody who is a representative for the terrorists, are you quaking in your boots? Does this fill you with fear and dread?
I'm just trying to envision this on a battlefield. Just like
The whole thing about the drag queen stuff, it totally makes fun of women. It's wearing femininity like a skin suit.
Yeah, it's woman face.
And the thing is, if I were to dress pretty, if I were to wear a nice black dress and some pearls, or wear an apron or anything like that, I would be a slave to the patriarchy. But when this guy does it, it's brave. Like, you know, you're not allowed to actually be feminine. You're just allowed to wear it like a skin suit.
Patriarchy wins again, baby.
Hey, Siraj.
Everything better than us.
This is a move by big patriarchy to prove that men are better at being women than women.
So true.
Well, they are. Look at all the sports awards that they win.
I know.
As women,
think of it.
They're better than us.
We just had to come. We were so tired of mansplaining to you how to be a woman that we just decided, you know, fuck it. I'm gonna just become one just to show you. I'm gonna show you by example.
Thank you. I feel like a better person now because you did that.
Hey, Siraj. All right, you joined the Navy SEALs and you're going out for your first deployment, and this guy's in your squad and he says to you, "Don't worry, bro. I got your 6."
Watch the hood. I'll watch the skies.
I got your back, bro. You take point.
I would hope that they would have my back, because honestly, everyone will be, they would actually shoot them first before they shoot me. So, you know, I don't mind it.
You see that friend that you trip when you're getting chased by a bear?
Yep.
That's the friend that you trip. There you go.
Still have the choice, ultimate authority over what happens to her body.
But there's a child inside of her body.
Hold on.
What about meth?
Like, should she be allowed to do meth?
Yeah.
I think if someone is doing meth while they're pregnant, that it is completely acceptable for something like, I don't know what the name of the service is in the United States.
Child services? I guess DCFS would be...
Oh,
it's her body, though.
Yeah, it's her body.
If she wants to do meth, what's the big deal?
The big deal is that she's intentionally trying to kill a child.
Oh,
Oh!
did he realize?
Tim handled that so well. He handled that
so
so well. I would have made that guy cry. Would have made him cry. Tim handled it so well.
I mean,
What did do you have what Tim said after? Do you have the clip? Do you know if like you have his reaction
Does
to
the clip
that?
keep going?
No, not
Hold
really.
on there a minute.
It's pretty much just like, whoa, yep, see, there it is. Yep.
I see where
Like,
you're
wait a
going. Yeah, he kind of realizes
There we
he
go.
got trapped there.
I don't
Wait, it
understand
is
what you're
another
saying.
body.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wanted to see how that exchange shaked out.
That is
like,
amazing.
well, essentially, Lance's argument was, well, you can kill the child if you want to, but you can't intentionally kill the child. You see, like it's,
Well, does he think
you are
abortions
intentionally
happen by
killing it.
accident? I don't.
I know that it didn't. There's no logical process. It's this cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Like peak.
They just make it up as they go along.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was.
I honestly thought he'd be pro meth. I was kind of shocked when he said he wasn't pro meth.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, okay. Cool.
Wow, they really do have a line in the sand that they draw.
Smoking meth while pregnant.
And that line happens to be a line of cocaine.
Biden announced this week that he's running for re-election, and you have already endorsed him. Why is it that not a single leading Democrat is willing to contest that nomination in the primaries? Why do you think that is?
I suspect it has to do with a real fear of the growth of right-wing extremism in this country.
Bernie is soft as dog shit.
So we're all going to endorse Joe Biden because of the growth of right-wing extremism.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Wow.
how he connects those dots even. Is Biden...
That's the answer he was told to give, and I think the question wasn't quite right. So.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
He went with the
whatever the
script.
question is, just talk about what right-wing
your answer.
extremism. Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that something? Just right-wing extremism just trumps everything. You know, it's never like they want to advance like an actual like policy platform that works for
it's
really
protection
literally
of
any
safety.
American. It's literally we are running
drive with fear.
to they've become worse than the neocons in the mid 2000s post 9/11.
Absolutely.
Then they may not have the capability to love. Did everybody just hear this gentleman say that humans are animals?
I literally.
How many heard him say?
I literally just said I'm a woman. If you're gonna tell everyone I'm a gentleman,
Okay.
and disregard
Listen to me.
my
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
Hey, man, don't do that. Listen, we're
How
human
many
beings.
times have I had to tell you that I'm a woman?
Okay.
I identify as a woman. I day.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me, man. Listen. I'm sorry. You're a woman. Okay. Hey.
A lot
Wow.
That man was so well placed. You could almost believe it was accidental.
Ways this dinner sums up my first 2 years in office. I'll talk for 10 minutes, take 0 questions, and cheerfully walk away.
Thank you for calling into the Antifa hotline to a live and from a professional studio audience. Please remain family friendly when speaking. Go ahead.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Name's Tom Hong. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Your name is
What are
Tom.
you wearing?
Tom Homs.
Tom Hong.
Tom Hom. Okay. Are you voting for
Yeah.
Joe Biden?
What are you wearing, man?
I'm wearing a white non-colored shirt and some shorts.
That sounds like
You're non-colored.
What? I mean, anti-fascism.
You didn't want to say white shirt? Yeah.
What do you mean? What?
He said white, and he's like, oh crap, this could be racist.
Yeah. I saw somebody the other day use the phrase person of non-color to talk about a white
Wow.
person.
I'm gonna be using that from now on.
I'm into.
Oh, I thought this was a hotline for men seeking men.
Me deciding to cook a home-cooked meal for my girl.
No, everything
She's
is
upset.
We're getting towards the end here. I think this is the second last clip. So this is all right.
Just someone said, because it's our second day.
So what?
I expected you to take me to the Capitol Grill.
And we will go to the Capitol Grill
When?
on another day.
Obviously,
We went out last. We went out last.
Keep his word.
word. I have more. Rich would take me out and do more for
I'm
me than
keeping
what
my
you're
word.
doing. No, you're
You
not
haven't
keeping
even-
your word.
You haven't
no,
even-
you're not.
you don't even know that yet.
No, no, listen, you see this?
I see it. It's amazing.
It looks amazing.
It looks amazing.
It looks black, brown, crusty, dusty.
It looks
musty.
like you
The
just want
broccoli-
something to complain about to me.
It's not that I want something to complain about, but I expect you to stick by your word.
I am
Come
sticking
on.
by my
This is our
word.
second- No, this is our second date.
Exactly.
And
So how do you
we're
know?
going to the Capitol Grill, and we're not going.
So she thought she was going to the Capitol Grill, but he surprised her with a nice, lovely home-cooked meal, steak and potatoes and
she's
broccoli.
thankless.
A little bit of Kool-Aid to wash it all down.
And the broccoli, you know, to make her a man.
Yeah.
I believe that's a rosé.
Could be Powerade. It's hard to tell.
In wine glasses. That is classy. This is
Yeah.
a classy. This is a
It's
classy.
a classy meal. Honestly, he's making you steak. Steak ain't cheap, all right? Those those have to be what, New York strips at the very least. I don't know if they're thick enough to be ribeyes, but still, he did that for you on a second date.
He
Man.
cooked for her on a second date. Damn. And she's
Yeah.
thankless. She's like, no, we got to go to the Capitol Grill so I could have somebody else cook me this.
Yeah, she's ungrateful. Although I will say that food doesn't look that great.
But yeah, to be fair, he tried. But I
tried,
think it was a nice
yeah.
gesture.
He made the
I would have
effort.
been. I would have been thankful.
It probably
How do you know that,
didn't go. It probably went south when he like whipped out the phone and started recording. I mean,
Yeah,
to be
it's,
fair.
I was gonna say too. It's a little bit. Yeah, you're kind of.
that might be a bit overkill. At that point, it's
Yeah.
like, no, there's no winning this argument. You might as well just start seeing other people.
Yeah. Bitch, do you know what the shitstorm that's coming your way when I put you on blast on my social media? Yeah,
Oh man.
Because I'm here. What do you mean?
I'm-
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate the effort of you cooking,
Right.
but I wanted to go out with you. I want to have
And
fun.
we will, but I wanted to cook for you. I want to
No,
show you that. I want to show you versatility. It's easy for me to take you out.
This is too. No.
Yes, it's
No.
easy for me to take you out.
Okay, it's easy for you.
It takes a lot more thought to cook for somebody.
pretty heated debate in the chat about whether or not that food looks good. I mean, it looks edible. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it doesn't look like anything you'd write home about.
Somebody, right?
I mean,
In
it
other
is
news,
it
this
is pretty basic. It is a pretty basic meal. I mean, he could have gone a little bit more, flavorful, maybe a little more. I don't know. If you got steak, there's so many things you could do with it. I don't know why you just grill that shit and throw it on with broccoli and potatoes. Unless
could have done like a baked potato or something.
I was just gonna say the broccoli, unless she's trans or thinking that she might be trans. I don't see any reason.
I guess it would ultimately come down to how well the steak was cooked, but it looked overcooked. So that's
What is your definition of overcooked though? Because that looked like at least maybe medium to medium well.
That looks
not
like medium well.
medium rare is overcooked. So medium is overcooked.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So we got one of those types.
I'm not like a bloody rare guy, but I just
You might as well just eat the cow as soon as they chop its head off.
Yeah.
County prosecutors charged the man accused of murdering 2 innocent victims in Tulsa. They've now charged him with a hate crime. Police say Carlton Guilford shot and killed London Hathcock at the Rudisill Library and then shot James McDaniel at a Quick Trip minutes later.
Well, that was my palate cleanser for the end. But so I want to touch on that story real quick. So there was a black guy shot 2 white people in the back of the head, random strangers, and they're saying it was a hate crime. They haven't given the reason they're saying that, but they've determined that, and they've charged him with a hate crime. There was actually another story today that I posted on my Twitter of 2 black guys who killed 1 white guy together, and they're saying that they're probably going to charge them with a hate crime because they said they wanted to kill a white person, which is kind of noteworthy having 2 stories like that in a week, because hate crimes that are also homicides are incredibly rare in America. It's really surprisingly rare. Even if you count the mass shootings that are hate crimes, it's it almost never happens. But have it twice in a week is very concerning, although maybe just an anomaly, who knows. But it's also in the context of, there's on Twitter, there was this thing with Elon Musk with the and the end wokeness, where he tweeted that, so it's actually a really old meme about interracial violence. I don't know if you guys saw this, but and it's how the media focuses on white on black situations, which we looked at some today. You have like the Banco Brown thing we saw at the start. You have the Jordan Neely stuff. The media tends to like pour fuel on the fire for that. Whereas when it comes to these other things that are arguably more egregious, they really slide under the radar. So, you know, and then you have Elon Musk drawing attention to that. And a lot of people were shitting and pissing themselves on Twitter. A lot of people were like trying to debunk the data or, you know, contextualize it or whatever. So,
and they couldn't, they kept failing.
Yeah, there's some really bad threads. I might even do a video on the big one because it was really bad. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about all that, but I just like to try to let people know that there's more going on than just what you see on CNN and stuff like that, you know? I don't know. Did you guys have any thoughts on that, or should we just wrap it up here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually in a group with End Wokeness and the Rabbit Hole 84, which are the two major guys that do the graphs and the statistics and they're followed by Elon as well. So they're the ones who he really, you know, trusts, that are reliable sources to do these graphs. And that's why, and every time any of these graphs were countered by somebody on the left, they would come back into the group and say, okay, this is how they countered it. This is where they're wrong, you know, because one of them is a statistician. So it's just a matter of, you know, getting the truth out there. And then when Elon comments on something, it amplifies the truth, you know, 100-fold. So.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Elon he just doesn't give a fuck, you know?
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Anyway, I had this palate cleanser for us to end on, because there was some pretty bleak stuff in today's video.
Mm-hmm. Aww.
If it'll play. This has been like a really rough stream. Nothing like the sound of a laughing toddler.
Oh, belly laugh. Oh,
dogs and babies.
Oh, that was perfect. Oh, what
Can't
a great
get any better.
to end on.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you so much for doing the show. I'm sorry to everybody for the technical issues. This has never happened before on the progress report. I'll try to do some diagnostics and figure out what's going on. But I had a great time anyways. Thanks to the chat. Thanks to everybody who watched. I did put, of course, links for where you can find Josie and Siraj on Twitter, on Rumble, YouTube, etc. So give them a follow if you're not already. And I'll give you guys a chance for final words or plugs and whatever else. Some final thoughts if you want. Siraj, why don't you go first?
Oh, wow. What an honor. First of all, 69 people watching the Rumble stream. Very nice. Yes. I was just going to say that with respect to free speech, everything Tucker said about Twitter is bullshit. If it's true that Twitter really is a place for free speech, Elon Musk will reinstate Alex Jones. At least on Rumble. Wow, Rumble platforms, Alex Jones.
It is. I mean, yeah, there's criticisms you can make of the free speech on Twitter, but as far as the big mass, I mean, there's only really 3 massive platforms. You got YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and maybe Reddit if you want. Twitter is the best by like orders of magnitude. It's the least censorship, even before Elon took over, and it's gotten better with Elon. There is still issues, but we shouldn't be too black-pilled on it. Yeah, there is an
it's not black-pilled. It's just it's just I'm miffed by it. That's all.
From what I understand, the Alex Jones ban is a association issue more than a free speech issue. Elon just does not want to associate with him, as opposed to letting him speak. It's a different issue for Elon personally. From what I understand about it, I believe everybody should be able to speak, but it's not my platform. But that's just my understanding of it.
It's just an intelligence honeypot. That's all.
Yeah.
Twitter?
Oh, well.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah. A lot of people have been
this is my theory. This is my theory about Elon Musk buying Twitter. He did it to reestablish the trust of everyone on the right who lost their faith in Twitter, to use it again, specifically so the three leather agencies
to
could
mine
track
the
them all
data.
over again.
Yeah. And now they're bringing in Tucker Carlson, whose dad is in the CIA, right? And you don't
leave the CIA.
Yeah.
Connecting those dots.
I like this rabbit hole. Nice.
All right, Josie.
Yeah, I knew you would, Josie. I knew you would.
All right. I'm Josie. I am the Redheaded Libertarian. You can find me on Twitter at TRHLOfficial. And I also do outside media work at timcast.com. So you can go ahead, head over there and smash that subscribe button and help support our work.
Awesome. All right. Thanks again, guys. And we'll leave it there. We will catch you all on the flip side. Peace out.